LimeVibe.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to another LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host with the most, Yuri Arman Camp here in Nassau, Bahamas. And tonight it's only going to be me one. Kim is not feeling very well tonight, so she's not going to be joining us. So it's just going to be me one riding solo with you tonight. But I thank you once again for joining us on this LimeVibe Live podcast. And please, if you have not done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to our videos. Please like, share, and subscribe to our videos on YouTube and Facebook, LimeVibe77. And please, really helps us with sharing the message and getting our message out there to the rest of the people and really helping people to understand what's going on in the Caribbean islands. Okay? So also, there's also a donate link inside the description on our Facebook and YouTube page. Please click on the link and anything that moves your heart to give to us to help this show go on. We really appreciate it. So I thank you once again for joining the LimeVibe Live podcast. Okay. I had a busy day today. I had a very busy day today. I had an interview at 7:30 this morning with the Antigua Broadcasting Service, the Antigua ABS, Antigua Broadcasting Service, about what we're doing at my magazine, the Caribbean Magazine Plus. Okay, they wanted to know about our poetry contest. And of course, the poetry contest is running on Caribbean Magazine Plus now. The deadline is August 25th. So if you have not done so already, please go over to the caribmagplus.com. That is CARIBMAGPLUS.com. That's caribmagplus.com. And please click on the poetry contest link. And please, if you have what it takes, please enter our poetry contest. So, okay, that's still going on. That's going on until August 25th, okay? Got to fix my hat. And also, we talk about sundry of items, okay? And we also have the Tropic Spin Music and Song Competition that's going to be streamed on our Carib Mag Plus Facebook page and our Carib Mag Plus YouTube page. Okay, that's going to be held on July 22nd. And that's a free contest. You don't have to pay for that one. So if you are an entertainer or a musician and you have a music video out there that you would like for the rest of the Caribbean and the rest of the world to see and to share, and have a chance to win $1,500 for the best solo artist. So if you have what it takes, please enter the Tropic Spin Music Competition. That's on the caribmagplus.com website as well. If not, you could also go to tropicspin.com. That's TROPICSPIN.com. That's tropicspin.com. And you can enter your video right at the submission link. Just go to the submission page and fill in all the information, all the details, and add your music video to the submission page. All you have to do is just have your song or your music video on a Dropbox link or a Google link or even a YouTube link, and let's put it on a Word document with your name, where you're from, and a telephone number so they can know exactly who you are. If we decide to host your video, then that'll be great. That'll be fine. We would love to have your music video enter into the Tropic Spin Music Competition. We have entries coming in right now, so please, it's getting in very quickly. More than likely, we only can have about a maximum. We probably only can do about 20 songs for the show. Okay, so please get your music video into us now and make sure it's unlocked so we can have a good chance in watching it and see if it's worthy of being on Tropic Spin the night on July 22nd on our Facebook and YouTube page, on Carib Mag Plus Facebook and YouTube page. So please share your music video with us. We really would like to have the content. We're really trying to help musicians and entertainers from around the Caribbean and Central American region. Okay, so if you're unsure, if you're able to enter into the Tropic Spin Music Competition, please go to the rules and eligibility. Go to our Tropic Spin page, and you will see exactly which country we would like to hear from you from. And also, it's also open up to the diaspora as well. Okay, so if you are someone, let's say, for example, your grandmother is from Costa Rica, and she moved to Wisconsin, 20, 30 years ago. And your mother was born in Wisconsin, and you were born in Wisconsin, okay? You are still eligible, because once you could trace your lineage back by at least 2 generations back to your grandparents, we will consider you as part of the Central American or Caribbean diaspora. So please, we would want to have you enter the Tropic Spin Music Competition. And the same thing goes for the Caribbean Magazine Plus poetry competition. Anyone from the diaspora, no matter where you live, once you could trace your lineage back at least 2 generations back to your grandparents at least, then you're eligible to enter into the poetry contest. Okay, so you're still a part of the Caribbean and Central American diaspora, and we would love to hear from you. Okay, So I talk about a sundry of items on the ABS Antigua Broadcasting Service television show this morning. I was very well received by the host, and I enjoyed going on. This is my second time going on Antigua. No, I think it's the third time actually. It's the third time I've been on the ABS morning show. And so Antigua, good morning. So yes, I enjoy being talking to my friends in Antigua. I don't know why they stuck to me. I don't know how they got to me, but I think the producer, she just was strolling through Facebook as people normally would do, just scrolling through feeds, and she saw that I was doing the poetry contest that was about 2 years ago, and she reached out to me and she wanted to talk to me. Okay. And so, yeah, that's how it's been. So I've been back and forth with every contest I've had with the Caribbean Magazine bus on Antigua Broadcasting Service. And it's been really fun hanging out with the people there. Okay. And I've also been on St. Croix, on St. Croix radio station as well. So, yeah, so Caribbean Magazine bus is picking up steam, and LimeVibe is picking up steam as well. This is my mouthpiece so people could see and engage with Yori Camp, the editor of the Caribbean Magazine bus and the owner operator of Arawak Media, and also the owner-operator of Western Freedoms. Both are public relations companies. One, Arawak Media, is based in New Providence, and Western Freedoms is based out of South Florida, okay? And so LimeVibe is how we host the, Western Freedom Stories, how we host the LimeVibe podcast. And so that's how we're doing this, okay? So thank you once again for joining us again. I had a busy day this morning. I started from about 7:30 this morning. I also got an exercise in there. I did about 6.5 miles this morning. I'm feeling really invigorated, really energized, man. And, I'm feeling really good. Since I started this rigorous exercise regimen, I've been feeling 100% over the moon. I feel better when I was 20 years old, man. I feel better than I was when I was 20 years old. I have less weight, and I feel great. Trust me when I say this. You guys, I don't see how you guys, no, looking at it now, I don't know how I was sitting at home and not doing anything, and just sitting at home, just getting fat and lazy. That was so pitiful. I felt so disgusted with myself right now because I let myself get up to 320 pounds, 320 pounds, and that was sickening. So please get up and get yourself moving. I'm gonna take some videos of myself going to the gym. I'll post it on the LimeVibe YouTube and Facebook page so you can see me getting in shape. And hopefully that'll spur some people to get off of their seats and do get something done with their lives and get some action done, all right? And to move around. So, okay, that's my personal morning. I started off with the exercise and I had my interview on the ABS show this morning. That was good. Yeah, boy, it was hot today. I don't even know how much it was. Let me see how much it was today. The degrees, the weather. It had to be at least about 85 degrees. Weather. Temperature in Nassau. Oh, what is this? Temperature in Nassau. It was 29 degrees Celsius. Okay. Let's change it to Fahrenheit. So in Fahrenheit would be 84 degrees. Yeah, it was about 84 degrees today. It felt like more, though. It felt like more than 84 degrees. But every year, people say it's hot, right? And every year, people complain about the weather. That's people for you right there, Every year, it's hotter than ever. But we can't deny global warming and climate change. Global warming in particular, it is getting hotter. And they said in the next 10 years or so, the Earth is going to be 1 degree hotter. Okay, I think we can't escape from that. So we just got to be mindful to have our air conditionings working and make sure we have ice around the place and make sure our refrigerators are working properly so we can cool down this hot summer weather. Okay, just take care of yourself because it can get really hot. It may get up to 100 degrees. Who knows? We have to wait and see. So yeah, we just have to make sure that we take care of ourselves during the summer heat. And we have some other things we want to talk about tonight as well. I don't know if you guys have heard that the former premier for the British Virgin Islands, Andrew Fahey, his co-defendants left him. They left him high and dry. They've decided to plead guilty in a Florida court. I think we spoke about this, Kim and I, when she was saying on Wednesday, we spoke about this on Wednesday night, but we just have more information coming about that because apparently they have decided to really turn state evidence against him. All right. They're not just pleading guilty, but they're also pleading state evidence against him. So there's going to be uphill climb for Andrew Fahey, the former premier of the British Virgin Islands. And all I can say is, I wish him the best. Our thoughts and prayers are with him. Our thoughts and prayers. But he was moving those birds, man. He was flipping those birds. He's a wheeler dealer. He is the Pablo Escobar of the Caribbean. Oh my goodness. Poor Mr. Fahey. I wish him all the best because it can't be comfortable, awaiting trial in the United States and facing a lengthy jail sentence as well, at least over 20 years for drug trafficking into the United States. So we wish them all the best. Otherwise than that, we just got to keep on keeping on, man. Keep on keeping on. We may not be long here tonight because, like I said, Kim is sick and she's normally my wing person. But I just want to make sure I do a show in any event to let people know that we're still there. Also, CARICOM is celebrating 50 years in existence. This comes July 4th, the same day as the American independence. And so we want to wish the CARICOM countries, a happy anniversary, the 50-year anniversary. And we just want to thank them for the work they've been doing on behalf of the region and making sure they lobby on behalf of us to make sure we have a better life here in these islands and these rocks. Okay, that's important. And we just want to ensure that we keep the next 50 years safe and relatively calm and peaceful for the next generation that's coming up, the Caribbean people, my children and their children, okay, to ensure that we leave something good for them. Because right now we've been teetering on the brink of collapse on several of these countries. We've been plagued by debt. We've been burdened by debt. Mostly every country in the Caribbean is probably over 70% debt to GDP ratio. That's not good. That means in any given hurricane, you could be 100% over debt to GDP. I know the Bahamas is probably about 80%, 90% debt to GDP. And Barbados is being over the brink. They have gone to the IMF for assistance and help. And it prompted, Prime Minister Mia Mottley to really get on her skates and try to devise a plan where she could get better financing without all those onerous debt obligations that the IMF and the World Bank would give to small developing countries. And we really want to commend her for that too, So yeah. So, and don't even talk about Jamaica and Haiti and the rest of the other Caribbean countries, they've been saddled with debt for years. Okay. We really need out of this debt trap. What can the IMF and the World Bank do for us to help us to be better countries? They can't keep on giving us loans. We have to build these economies where we actually build rents, where we actually build economies of scale, where we actually could tax people sensibly. Because right now we're getting these tax and spend policies from our government because they've been borrowing monies to do their own pet projects. And that thing is they can always tax the citizenry. Only so much you can take. Only so much you can take before it's become counterproductive. I know, for example, here in the Bahamas is becoming counterproductive. It's already killing the private sector, all these taxes. There's just no flexibility. And whereas you would have persons who would be generous in their giving and their assistance within the private sector, you're not seeing that as much anymore. You're not seeing people, reach out and helping other smaller businesses be a part of that value chain. All right. So it's already sucking the air and sucking the life and sucking the blood out of the economy. So we really need to do better than that, man. This tax and spend cannot move forward like this. This tax and spend is just too much. All right. And we're going into our 50th year anniversary as well on July 10th. And the celebrations have started from the night, actually. So yeah, we can't go another 10 years like this with this debt. So while the government is taxing and spending, the average citizen is just taking it, just taking it. That's not how I would do things. I would not do things like that because, for example, you cannot tax your way into prosperity. I think we've said this 100 times over. The socialist countries and the communist countries have tried this. You just cannot tax your way into prosperity. And you cannot depend on the government to do everything for you because the government will not do everything for you because they don't want to do everything for you. They can't do everything for you. So we really need the private sector to really start making better moves. But they can't make better moves if the government has their foot on their necks. They can't make better moves. The government has their foot on these private sector firms' necks. And yes, of course, some people have gotten away with murder. We have some people who aren't paying their fair share of taxes. That's fine. That's in every economy. There's some people right now with all these high taxes still aren't paying any taxes. But that doesn't mean that you just give people more taxes and get it from somebody else. No, you need to go out to people who owe you and make sure you tighten up the reins and make sure that people aren't getting away with the egregious tax evasion. That's what's been happening. We don't want you getting away with egregious tax evasion, okay? And so, yeah, we can't go on like this. It's unsustainable, and everyone knows it. We're just waiting for the house of cards to collapse one day or the other. And sooner rather than later, it's going to happen too, We just can't continue on like this, man. It's too much tax and spend. And so that's my talking point memo for the night. I'm taking a page out of Bill O'Reilly's book. Other than that, yeah, we just got to keep on pushing and make sure we have something to leave for our generation in the next 50 years, Like I said, July 10th is the Bahamian independence, and we have to ensure that something's left for the next generation. And so that's my talking point memo for the night. Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly for you. Otherwise than that, we have something brewing in the Trinidad and Tobago as well, too, because apparently there's this brouhaha over here. Schools have been denying young men and young women the right to graduate from school because they came to graduation with their hair unkempt. Now, to me, I am someone who agrees with school policy in terms of please cut your hair. If you cannot obey the rules, you cannot go in anybody else's workplace and say you're going to run their joint. If a job calls you today and tells you you have to cut your hair, my God, cut your hair, don't be stupid. Because that's all school is teaching you to do. It's teaching you discipline and how to take instructions, how to take orders. We're not trying to get into your religious background. Okay, if you want to have religious beliefs, fine. Be ostracized from the rest of the world. Let's know that some things are just going to be off limits to you. And fine, you made a moral decision. You made a conscious decision to do that. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But for the average citizen that doesn't have any religious beliefs and doesn't have any religious kind of sentiments about it, please follow the rules and the instructions, because these same kids, they're going to go out into the real world. They're going to meet authority figures. They're going to meet up with authority figures who are going to give them direct and clear instructions, and it's going to be life and death. There's not going to be a chance to have a negotiation or to have some crying and whining and complaining. It's going to be a life and death situation. So get used to following instructions and orders now, because it only will bode well for you in the future. And that's all that's been happening too, you know. These unruly kids, they don't have, and their mothers and their fathers, they stand up for them with this foolishness. Their mothers and their fathers, they stand up for them with this nonsense. They forget the whole principle of school. It's supposed to be teaching you rigor and discipline and getting you to the next stage of your life to be grown, sensible adults. You cannot be a grown, sensible adult if you don't know how to follow instructions. And one of the instructions in the rules is that you come to school with your hair cut and kept nicely, and you wear your skirt at a certain length, and you wear a certain uniform. That's rules and regulations. These parents should not be indulging this. We've just lost the battle on this altogether. We've lost the narrative on this. We forgot why these kids are there. They are not there to have their best hairdo. They're not there to wear the best clothing. They're there to have an education and to be disciplined and to be trained into being productive citizens to go into the next step of their life. So yes, I agree with the school. Don't let them graduate. Don't let these kids get away with that. Don't let them get away with that, because they're going to go on somebody else's job and they're going to decide they're not going to do a certain thing, or they're going to follow a certain rule and obligation, and they're going to get in trouble. It's going to be a life and death situation. And you can't do that when you're an adult and you have bills and you have kids to take care of. You can't do that as an adult. All right. That's just true. And someone's not telling these kids that, because these parents are coddling them and getting, filling their heads up with nonsense and foolishness, thinking that they can do any old thing. Once you cry and complain and you make a case about it, people are going to listen to you. No, follow the rules and the instructions, and don't be like someone who wants to be ostracized. You want to have a productive life as a citizen in this country. Don't be stupid. Now, we understand the Rasta friends, they have religious beliefs, right? They don't want to be a part of the society. They don't have to cut their hair. They want to be living in the camps and the tents. That's fine. That's fine, okay? They have accepted that they're going to be limited within the society. They have accepted that. All right. Don't teach your kids who have a life ahead of them to get involved in this nonsense, because it's not going to work out for them. So please don't do your kids that. And these parents should know better, because these are these same parents as well. I'm going to get on these parents too. These same parents as well, that when their children are accosted by a police officer and the officer tells them, please sit down and shut up and cuff up. Put your hands behind your back and cuff up. These are the same kids that are going to argue and fight and tussle with a police officer in a life and death situation. All right. In a life and death situation, they're going to argue with the police officer. Then you don't have control of that situation. It is not your situation to control. You don't have control there. You should learn to be quiet and play the role and follow the rules and the instructions of someone who is in authority. That's what you should do. Not argue and complain, and not have some kind of sideway conversation why you need to do this and that. No, if an authority figure comes and tell you to do such and such a thing, follow the rules and obligations, especially if it's not illegal. It's not illegal. Them telling you to cut your hair is not an illegal act. That's part of the rules and regulations of the schools. Actually, it's within the law for you to cut your hair. It's in the rules and regulations of that school to cut your hair. All right. So that's my rant for the night. That's my rant for the night. I had the talking points and I had the rant. What else is going on tonight? It's been a dead week this week. After the Caribbean Development Bank had their series of meetings, it's been really, really dead. The only thing exciting us this week is when Spice got up on the stage for the Busta Rhymes birthday bash. and she did a standing split. Well, apparently, I didn't even know she was pregnant. Kim had to tell me she was pregnant, so they have it. So she did a standing up split, and she went and she did split as well on the stage. That's our carrying one for you right there. I saw it. I was too shocked. I can't believe she did it though. I could not believe that she could have done that. I thought she was out of shape and too old, but Spice still got it, baby. Me, I'm a Dovey Magnum guy myself. All right. I'm a Dovey Magnum guy. And Spice, okay, fine. Shensia, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, pretty mango skin, yeah, fine. But Dovey Magnum, my dear, Dovey Magnum got the hard-hitting lyrics that you need. Ball out, oh, I make you want to ball out. I just love that song. And when I first heard that song, it was already out for about 3 or 4 months. And I had to tell my friend, how come I was not told about Dovey Magnum? And after that, I just fell in love with Dovey Magnum. She's my favorite female Jamaican artist right now. And before her was Lady Saw. So I go back quite a way, right? So it was Lady Saw, then Dovey Magnum. Forget all the Patra and all those other people in between that. Fine. Lady Saw and Dovey Magnum. And the old Lady Saw, not the Marion Hill. What's her name? Marion Jones? Not Marion Jones. It's Marion Hill, right? Let me see. Lady Saw. Lady Saw real name. I think it's Marion something. Lady Saw. Let's see. Sorry about this. I should know this, right? Yeah, Marion Hall. Yeah, before she turned Christian. And of course, I love the Christian Marion Hall. I love her too. I love Lady Saw. I love her energy. She always is a great entertainer. I'm glad she turned her life over and she went Christian. The same way I did as well. When you have a revelation from Christ, you can't go back. You just can't go back. When God has spoken to you and Jesus has entered your life and the Holy Spirit descends upon you, you cannot go back. You are a changed individual. There's certain things you cannot do. There's certain things you won't do. And certain things the Holy Spirit will tell you don't do that you won't do. Once you have a communion with the God and Father and Jesus Christ, there's certain things that you can't do. Yeah, I have a chuckle and a laugh at certain things. Yeah, I still like to watch certain things. I say certain things. I still like to watch, say, for example, raunchy stuff. I still like to see things happen. I'm a journalist. I like to see and I like to witness things, but I try to keep a clean spirit nonetheless. I may be revealing too much of myself here tonight, but still, that's me. All right. Yeah, so I love my Marion Hall. And I listen to her gospel as well, too. My soul, all right. My soul, all right. My soul, all right. My soul, all right. Yeah, I love my Lady Saw, man. But otherwise than that, man, it's been a dead week, I've been trying to find something that's going on in the Caribbean. Nothing much really going after the CDB week of news. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about this. Royal Caribbean cruise ship saved the passenger. I don't even know what this was. Let's open this up. I'm reading this on the USA Today, and they say found woman overboard the 10th deck of the Royal Caribbean cruise ship was saved after an hour-long rescue. And these thrill seekers, they don't know. Stay away from the edge, man, because what it takes for a cruise ship to turn around after you jump overboard, for a cruise ship to really turn around, to make it after to turn back around for you, they wouldn't do it because it's going to take too long. It's going to take an hour for a ship to turn back around, and they're moving at a pace. So you think that it's just sitting there in the ocean? No, these ships are moving, man. They're sailing. They're actually sailing. So when you jump overboard, within 15 minutes, the ship can be probably at least about a mile away from you. So you got to be careful, man. You could be swept off from the shore as well. And God knows about sharks too, right? Apparently, this is a 42-year-old woman. She just fell overboard. I'm glad she was saved. It happened in the Royal Caribbean, not about 30 miles off the coast of the Dominican Republic. So it happened in the region. So Royal Caribbean saved her. That's good. And we had a passenger here who fell off of one of our pleasure ships here. The Pirate Republic pleasure ship. Oh, my light fell down. I kicked it by accident. Can I ask my assistant to come here and stand this up for me, please? Assistant. Yeah, my assistant is coming to stand up my light for me here. Make sure it's standing up properly. There you go, Miss Assistant. Thank you so much. I really only need one. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes. I really only need one light, but I like to have two because I like to have, my face fully shown on the thing. And she just happened to be passing by. So if you turn the light back around to me, my dear. Thank you so much, Miss Assistant. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is the rigors of doing the show by myself. So you get to talk to me for a whole hour. Yeah, so like I said, Kim was sick. And it's just me ranting and raving. And yeah, so yeah, I was talking about the pleasure ship here, and he fell overboard. They never found the fella. They never found him. This happened about a month ago. He fell overboard. The pleasure ship actually jumped overboard. He didn't fall. He jumped overboard and he swam away from the pleasure ship. He swam away from the ship. And so he didn't want to be found. Apparently he had some mental issues as well. And so, I wish his family all the best because they lost a loved one. They were taking care of him. So I just wish them all the best. And I hope that they have some kind of peace and comfort that he's probably in a better place right now. And he just decided he wanted to do away with himself. So yeah, so just to be mindful of that. So stay away from the guardrails of these cruise ships. And this happens more often than not from what I understand, but yeah, this happens once every other month or so. People fall overboard. And we just gotta be mindful of it, just be careful of it, man. And yeah. One thing we didn't talk about as well, apparently in New York, this Eric Adams, the New York mayor for Eric Adams, he announced a new initiative for Caribbean immigrants that's going to give them a fast track into the United States system, which is good. I think we spoke about it. Yes, we did speak about it on Wednesday night. Kim brought it up. And yeah, Eric Adams is going to have this new initiative for Caribbean immigrants, which is good. I don't know if I like Eric Adams that much. For some reason, he's too, something about him just don't sit well with me, He's a black guy, that's fine. But something about him just like, I've seen better. I've had Obama, so I've seen better. All right. But he hasn't done anything untoward, from what I understand. It's just something about him, just, I just don't take them. When your spirit don't take to somebody, yeah. The old people ever tell you that my spirit just don't take to you. My spirit just don't take to you, man. You haven't done anything, nothing that I could see. But yeah, just something about you. My spirit doesn't take to you, Mr. Adams. I don't know what it is, but yeah. Oh, we have the CIC games going on as well. The Colombian team won gold at the Central American and Caribbean games just recently. And I didn't even realize this was going on. Yeah, Cuba's involved as well. So yeah, I gotta find some information on the CAC game. I didn't even realize this was happening. That shows you how much information comes across my desk because the CAC games are becoming pretty important now because they're a stepping stone to the Pan American Games, and the Pan American Games is like the mini Olympics because with all the athletes from the United States, Canada, and the Caribbean and Central America and Latin America, this a good time for athletes really put themselves up on the world stage. Not exactly the Olympics or the World Games, but it's a good stepping stone. It's definitely better than African Games and the European Games, for sure. And the Pan American Games is a good stepping stone for a lot of athletes, from track and field to swimming to boxing and martial arts. Yeah, so the CAC Games is the first stepping stone for a lot of Caribbean athletes because they get out of the Carifta, meets, and they get to have real competition against the Central American countries, and that's a really good stepping stone. So I'm gonna find some information about that and get back to you guys. But yeah, apparently it's been a good showing. It's been going on for the last couple of days now. I didn't even realize that. That's good. The CAC Games, that's fine. It was in San Salvador, Santo Domingo, San Salvador. That's in that has to be in the Dominican Republic. Yeah, Santo Domingo. Yeah, Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Yeah, I don't even know my own geography in this region. San Salvador, Santo Domingo. Okay, Mexico has 65 gold, and Colombia has 41 gold. Mexico has 169 total medals, and Colombia has 96 total medals. Cuba has 92 total medals and 39 gold. Venezuela has 78 medals and 13 gold. Puerto Rico has 41 medals and 11 gold. So I didn't even know Venezuela still had a country. I thought everything was up in arrays, but up in disarray. But apparently, Nicolas Maduro, he's still, cobbling together his country. And maybe all those attacks from the Western powers were probably just untoward towards him. And perhaps he was a good leader. I doubt it though, but still, he's still keeping his country engaged and, wholesome activity. He hasn't really isolated the country as yet. And he's weathered the storm. He's weathered an assassination attempt. And he's weathered the storm over the past, 3 years, but they were trying to get him out of power in Venezuela. But still, there's still a crisis in Venezuela. There's still migrants leaving Venezuela in the droves, and they're nestling in, places like Colombia, and in Mexico, and in Peru. And they're really just leaving Venezuela in droves. And so that's a humanitarian crisis that didn't need to be. because Nicolas Maduro, he decided to destroy his country, and it's just sad to see that a once prospering country with all those oil reserves just decided not to really sell oil, and actually they've had an embargo on them, and they just can't do anything until the United States lifts their foot off of the Venezuelan back. There's nothing they can do about it. And I think it's been very clear the United States government wants regime change in Venezuela. Even though right now they've been softening their tones, they realize that Nicolas Maduro has a foothold in a stronghold in Venezuela right now. So my thing is that I think they just have to learn to get along with him for the time being until the Venezuelan people really uprise and really try to get rid of him, right? Because they've tried to bring in Juan Guaido. That hasn't worked. Okay. Nicolas Maduro, he fought him off. He's very strong. And when you see it like that, God's behind certain leaders. Okay. God is behind certain leaders. And there's nothing much you really can do about that. So you just probably have to leave Venezuela alone and leave them to their own devices. Okay. So yeah, Venezuela has 13 gold, 76 medals altogether. 78, sorry, my bad, 78 medals altogether. So they're still participating in international events, which is good. Okay. And that's the best we can say about it. Otherwise than that, Venezuela is still a basket case. Like I said, the Venezuelan immigrants, they're in Trinidad as well too. If you listen to Kim, she has a real problem with the Venezuelan immigrants. They say they're just infiltrating Trinidad to the point they just can't take any more people. I think the international community just got to be mindful, just have to be accommodating to them and the Haitian immigrants as well, because we shouldn't be doing this by skin color either. The Haitian immigrants are just as important as the Venezuelan immigrants. Actually, Haiti is in a worse state and has been in a worse state for longer than Venezuela has. Okay, so we just have to be mindful that we treat all people fairly, and that's one thing Eric Adams has done. Has made it available for all Caribbean migrants coming to the United States to have that opportunity to get more involved and to get ingratiated and to be, sunk into the American economy, and which is good. And those Haitian migrants can really appreciate that and use that. And that's a good thing. I think that's happened because he's only riding off of what the U.S. federal government has done, what Joe Biden has done as well. That he made a fast track application process for Haitian immigrants when he saw the Haitian crisis at the border in Mexico and Texas. Okay, he said that those migrants, they need a fast track into the United States, which is good. And I think the United States could use them. The United States really could use these people. Because there's always a job for somebody, and they can push everybody else out. So America can take them, but the Caribbean countries not so much. Okay, let's call it fair. America can take those migrants in very easily, but the Caribbean just cannot. The Bahamas cannot take 100,000 Haitians coming in from Haiti to the Bahamas. All right, we only about 400,000 people here. They have 400,000 people. We can't take all those Haitian migrants. Jamaica has about 1 million plus people. They can't take all those migrants either. Okay, let's just be called it fair. America can do it, and Jamaica doesn't have the size economy to really keep them and to take care of them and to really provide all the necessary resources for them. They have problems providing resources for Jamaicans. So I don't go there tonight. That's going to be another round too. But yeah. And also on top of that, though, I've seen, speaking about Haiti, the World Bank had a review of all of its programs in Haiti. And of course, they said their review is pretty solid. Their programs are working very, very well, even though Haiti doesn't have a government right now. I think we spoke about this before. Haiti does not have a government. And even up to about 3 months ago, the World Bank was still giving Haiti money. So Haiti doesn't have a government. They don't have a president. They don't have an elected parliament. There's really no government there. There's anarchy, total anarchy. You see Prime Minister Ariel Henry, he's going around and talking to people, but there's really nothing there in Haiti. So who was the World Bank giving this money to? And are they going to come and tell us that their programs have been working just fine? That's like, my goodness, that's like the fisherman not calling his fish thing, So the government of Haiti and the World Bank representation in Haiti held the annual meeting on the performance of the portfolio of projects financed by the World Bank on this past Wednesday, actually. This meeting was an opportunity for the stakeholders to openly discuss the main obstacles that hinder the implementation of the projects and also to discuss the main obstacles. My God, they have no government. Who the hell are you talking to in Haiti anyway? Who is this? Who were you talking to? Anyway, they said that they were talking to stakeholders. Who was the stakeholders? There's no government, man. And they said it's important to find solutions together to the problems identified, which is why the matrix of recommendations at the end of the session will be the subject of constant monitoring with the view of strengthening the country's absorption capacity and putting these funds allocated to the Haiti for the benefit of the most vulnerable, said Patrick Boisvert, Minister of Economy and Finance. Uh, there's no government, man. Who's this? These guys are just flamming you. You should know better than that World Bank. There's no elected government there. He said he's the minister of the economy and finance. So why is it that if he's the minister for the economy and finance, was he elected? And if that's the case, right? If that's the case, right? So why is it that CARICOM now have this three-man team or the head down to Haiti if they have not already gone down there already to have set up the administration for Haiti? The World Bank really think everybody's fools, you know. They really think everyone's a fool. This is just egregious, man. The government is committed to establishing coordination on a regular basis with the project implementation units in order to circumvent bottlenecks with a view to establishing a culture of performance to promote diligent and successful implementation of projects. Yeah, right. You would say that. How do you spend the money? Okay. They'll tell you anything, man. The World Bank should know better than this. They should know better than this. Anyway, that's just the name of the game. So if someone's there collecting the money, that's fine. Hopefully someone gets rich off of the World Bank money. I wish I was there. I wish I was the minister. I don't anyway. I wouldn't say that, right? But still, they know better than that. That's just egregious, man. It's just egregious. I guess they're saying all the projects are good and they're working fine. The World Bank's portfolio in Haiti includes 18 active projects for a total commitment of around $1.25 billion. Not million, 1.25 billion with a B, $billion of projects in Haiti. 18 projects worth $1.25 billion. It will be completed during the next fiscal year with 2 new operations totaling 62 million, including a 12 million for additional financing for the Caribbean Regional Air Transport Connectivity Project. Wow. And an envelope of US 50 million, which will be devoted to a new project in the sector of governance and public services. Oh, that money's going to be wasted. That sounds and that sounds so vacuous. You know, let's read that again. A $50 million envelope, which will be devoted to a new project in the sector of governance and public service. That's so vague. What does that mean? Anyway, I gotta talk. I don't know this stuff, right? I don't know it's a scam. That's a scam, man. Someone's getting some loose money on the ground. The United States should look into that. I bet you're gonna hear a scandal about that, because nobody really cares about Haiti, right? And everyone knows it's like, wow, well, okay, they laundered some money through Haiti. They're gonna say they're gonna, let them get away with this, right? But still, that's wrong because Haiti right now needs help. Why doesn't the World Bank go there and finance, the CARICOM initiative going into Haiti now to really set up a government so they can have a sensible election moving forward? Okay, so they can have a real parliament in Haiti, so they can have a real government in Haiti. That's where the money should be going towards. And stop all these projects. Stop them cold. Stop these projects, please, because it's not helping Haiti. Because they're still rioting in the streets. They're still fighting. The money isn't going anywhere sensibly. I didn't see anything that says that these projects have actually been committed and being executed successfully. It's just that you're saying this is what you're doing, but you haven't actually really executed anything. And what I read from the Minister for Finance, he just gave you some empty statement. Oh, we're committed to doing this, blah, blah, blah. But he didn't actually show you that we spent 10 million on this, and this is what we have. He didn't say anything like that. He just gave you some empty statement. All right. But that's the way the world works, I guess. So I shouldn't get too worked about it because the Haitian people don't care about it either, right? The Haitian people don't care about it, But yes, they do because they're up and down riding up in the streets right now. All right. They care about their country. They care. It's just they don't know how to go about doing anything about it, right? And their leaders, these same ministers who have been left, in charge of the sinking ship, they're probably just there, just collecting their paycheck and going about their business. I wish them all the best, man. I really do. Yeah, I just want to show you that they have this review of their projects. Yeah, that's what they do, But like I said, man, it's not the first time the World Bank has faced criticism. Institutions like the World Bank and the IMF and the IDB, the Inter-American Development Bank, and multilateral lending institutions like that, they have been brought on the carpet for a lot of things, including wasted monies and projects and initiatives that have gone absolutely nowhere. All right. So this isn't brand new. All right. It's just this is just the most egregious one. You're giving money to a country that doesn't even have a government. So who's actually accepting the money? Which is really sad. Which is really sad, man. Everyone's just using Haiti and running all over them, right? But that's life, I think God probably has his hand away from Haiti right now, and it could be the case, and we don't want to talk about these things, man, but God is involved in this, man, And if you're going to still be, practicing and worshiping your African deities, and you're still going to be practicing your Obeah and your voodoo, then you got to take the wrath that God gives you. You can't confuse our God, our Almighty God, with the foolishness that you guys are worshiping down there in Haiti. We just can't afford it, man. He's not going to let you prosper. He's not going to let you prosper. And that's just a cold, hard truth. Okay. Now you can say whatever you want about me. Oh, he's a holy roller, he's a Bible, you're a fool for believing in God the Almighty. I believe in God the Almighty. So call me a fool. That's fine. I've seen it for my own self. I believe what he's written inside that Bible for us to follow by, and there'll be no other God but him. Yes, I believe that. And you can give me any old argument that you want about it, but the God Almighty is told you quite clearly, quite plainly, that there's no other God but him. So you could worship your own voodoo and your Santeria and your Ogun and all that kind of stuff and your Obeah. You do all that what you want, but you're not going to prosper. That's just call it what it is. You're not going to prosper. All right. And another thing is really hitting the Caribbean. People are really sad about this this LGBT push. Apparently, these the promotion of the LGBTQ agenda is being making its way into the school libraries of the Caribbean. And you're seeing a backlash against it in Trinidad. You're seeing a backlash against it in Barbados. That you're having these books and they're talking about openly explicit sexual things. Talking about oral sex with a man, two men having oral sex. Really, some real raunchy stuff that 10-year-olds and 5-year-olds really should not be exposed to. Who are these freaks telling our kids this stuff, man? I don't want to send my kid to a school that they're gonna be learning about oral sex. Let them talk to me. I will have that conversation with my kids. I will have that conversation, not you. I will have that conversation with my children about oral sex and what two men would do in a sexual relationship, or what two women would do in a sexual relationship, and even what a man and woman have in a relationship, not the school, not some book. All right. Unless you see some kid at risk and they have no parents, then fine. You have a conversation, but you don't like this thing be open to every other student in the school, man. Kids don't go to learn, and they go to learn the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. They don't go to learn about sex. Relationships is different from sex. Okay, a man and woman or a man and man relationship is different from sex. And actually, I believe that adult content about a man and man relationship, with a woman and woman relationship, lesbian relationship, and a gay relationship really shouldn't be taught to kids anyway, because that's adult content. The traditional way is a man meets a woman. That's how you got here. A man met a woman. Your father met your mother, and they had you. They made it, and they had you. That's the truth for most of us here. All right. But this LGBTQ push to these schools is just going above and beyond, man. It shouldn't be. I have nothing against gay people. I love gay people. I have gay family members. I have gay friends. But it's just a point in time we have to say, stop, enough is enough. This should not be in our school. This should not be to the level where we're trying to push this down the throats of our kids. This should not be. And the same goes towards people who are talking about open sex in the open as well, raunchy sex. I'm a traditional guy, and I think we've gone overboard with some of these carnival masquerades as well too. We have people walking around the place and naked. That's not appropriate. That's not the way a country should run. That's not a country where decent people are. You slip sliding down the path. You slip sliding down the path to hell and debauchery. I'm sorry to get them all high and mighty, but yeah, that's what you're doing. You're slipping down to the path of hell and debauchery. And you got to be careful. You got to be mindful of that, because once the country starts going down that path, the Bible has shown us time and time again. Once you start to go down that path, God is going to turn you over to a reprobate mind, because that already shows him that you have a reprobate mind. So he's going to turn you over to it, and all kinds of calamities and catastrophes are going to happen to you. You're going to destroy yourself. It's just the truth. Read about Sodom and Gomorrah. Read about the Roman Empire. These countries, Sodom and Gomorrah fell because of sex and debauchery, and they fell because they had other things going on and led them to that sex and debauchery that caused them to collapse. Same thing with the Roman Empire. The sex and debauchery and the licentious behavior was a manifestation of their society as it was. It was going against the will of God. And it fell. It crumbled. It took a few years, but it crumbled. We only read about it in history books right now. And that's the truth. Now, you can take it as what you want, but that's just the truth. Okay? So, yeah, I did a good rant tonight, man, talking about Andrew Fahy and how he's really screwed. and how his co-defendants, Ms. Oliavine Maynard and her son, Kadeem Maynard, they turned against him. They pled guilty. I think what really caused, if you read the editorial in the Caribbean Magazine, plus you read my thoughts on that as well. I think that because, Andrew Fahy, he got bond and they were still in federal custody because the Maynards are still in federal jail. They're still in federal custody while Fahy was able to pay his bond and he's living outside with his daughter. And I guess he sat back and said, hold on, wait a minute, hold on. You got bond and we have to sit in this federal prison. We have to sit in this hello while you're living outside in Florida with your daughter while you await trial. No, that means you're planning on setting us up. And that's probably what the DA told. That's what the lawyers probably told the Maynards. Hey, Fahy's looking to set you guys up. You guys got to get out ahead of this. Plead guilty and turn state's evidence against him. So that's how it played out. And it doesn't look well that Fahy was sitting at his daughter's house, awaiting trial in the lap of luxury and walking around as a free man while he's waiting on his cocaine and trafficking trial to start. So yeah, so while it looked like he wanted a short-term fix and he looked like he was doing well, it just worked against him. They just played him like a fiddle. That's when you like your comfort too much. Maybe you should have sat in trilogy and took your lumps like a man. All right. And even if you weren't guilty, take your lumps and stand up to it. You're in trouble now, stand up to it. Don't look for the comfortable exit. Don't look for somebody to be comfortable. Stand up and take it. Stand up and take it like a man. All right. You got involved in it. You were talking tough the other day, so why you in the lap of luxury now? And that's all they did. And the man says, hey, I'm not going to let you sit in the lap of luxury while we sit in this federal prison. I'm going to turn against you. And if I was going to get 20 years, I'm going to try to plead my way down to getting at least 5, and I'll be out to enjoy the rest of my life. I may not be able to come out to the United States, but I'll be able to enjoy the rest of my life without having to spend 20, 30 years behind bars in the U.S. federal prison. Okay? And it looks like Fahy's going to be the one who's going to lose out of this. Because the federal government, they have an over 90% successful conviction rate. Once the feds got you, they got you, okay? They have a tight case. They have evidence piled up to the roof against you, and they've been watching you for quite some time. And they've corroborated a lot of things, a lot of witnesses, and they have everything lined up to really bring you in front of a federal judge. So there's no escaping this, Mr. Fahy. You're done, okay? That's my take. I didn't talk about the case, but that's really my case. All right. Otherwise than that, I'm going to get out of here, because it's really 9:20 now. Only like 10 more minutes. I'm just going to take these last 10 minutes and really tell you guys how much I appreciate you guys really turning in for us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night. Okay. I'm just going into this weekend. I'm very happy, man. I'm very excited about what's going to happen for our country. We're going to be celebrating our independence on July 10th, and the festivities started tonight. I've been hearing fireworks in the background from us as well. So there was a flag raising day today, that National Flag Day today, where people raise their flags. And tomorrow they're going to have a huge concert on the Arawak Theaters, a large park. And so, yeah, so we're starting our independence celebration. So I just want to wish you guys a good night. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in for another LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host, Yori Arman Kemp, giving my apologies for Kimberly Ramkalawan, who's not feeling well tonight. So please tune in to us again on Monday night as we come back again. Hopefully she's back with us as well and she's feeling a lot better. So if you have not done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook page, our YouTube and Facebook page, LimeVibe 77. It really helps us out a lot. It really helps us to share our message with the rest of the world. And please, there's a donate link right there in that same description as well. Please, anything that moves your heart to donate to the show, please donate it to us. It really helps us to keep the show going on. So thank you once again for joining us on the LimeVibe Live podcast. This is Yori Kemp signing out. Good night. Let's get the music queued up. I didn't even have the music queued up. I'm planning. I didn't have the music queued up. Let's get the music queued up, man. I had a good night tonight. I had a good day today overall. I can't be beat, man. I'm just feeling so good and so great. I'm feeling my best self. Like I said, I've been really doing my miles every morning, and I haven't felt this good since I was about 20 years old. I really feel in good shape, man. Great shape. Let's go. Computer audio, share audio. So good night again, everybody. Oh, not yet. No, not yet. Yeah, that's it right there.